Hi, this is the first of hopefully many of Anthony's true or not stories. Alright, here we go. So, I was at a bar drinking, as one does, drinks at a bar, and walked in what only could be described as an angel. And she was gorgeous. Oh my gosh, she was so beautiful. And luck would have it, we would actually meet at the bar ordering a drink at the same time. So we got to talking, we got to dancing, and one thing led to another. She was like, at the end of the night, she was like, "Hey, I don't normally do this, but what if what if we continue this party at my house, my apartment?" I was like, "Oh my god, I said, yeah, let's do it." She was like, "All right, yeah, well, just jump in your car and go." And I was like, "Oh, well, I Ubered here. I don't really drink and drive." And she's like, "Well, it's okay. My apartment's only like 2, 3 blocks away. We can walk." So then I was like, "Well, I don't normally do this, but yeah, I guess we can walk, to your apartment." So we go to her apartment and we get there and she's like, "Hey, would you like a drink?" And I was like, "Of course, I would love a drink, but you think I could use your restroom?" She was like, "Yeah, of course." So then I go to the restroom and I shut the door and I mean after I turned the light on and I look around and it was a really nice restroom. It was really cute and so I go over to the toilet and then above the toilet there was a sign that said, "If you sprinkle when you tinkle, be a sweetie, wipe the seedy." And I was thinking, "Oh, that's so cute." I've seen that sign before. But I was like, "No, I'm gonna do one even better. I'm gonna go above Sweetie, and I'm gonna lift the CD." So I lift the CD, and I wish I didn't, cause what I saw can only be described as a murder scene in a movie. The only thing I was missing was those little tags, flags with numbers. There was debris everywhere. There was shit on the rim of the toilet, under the toilet seat. It looked like a murder scene. It was just horrible. And I just remember thinking, how bad is your shit when the toilet is like, "No, I don't want this," and it just spits it back out. It's like, no, I don't. And then I was like, fuck. But then I was like, well, maybe it's not hers. Maybe it was somebody else. Maybe she has a roommate. And so I decided that I was gonna go back outside and get to the bottom of this crime. So I went bathroom and I flushed and I washed my hands because that's what one should do after he uses the restroom. So I go outside and she's right there, and she changed and she had this just amazing outfit on, and they like these booty shorts and short shirt, and I was just like, oh my god, because it's been so long since I had sex. I was in this dry spell for like 2 months. So I was really eager, but at the same time, I wanted to get down to what actually happened. So what happened? So we sit down and I drink my drink. So I decided to casually ask her a few questions. So I was like, first question was like, "Hey, so like, do you have a roommate?" She was like, "No, I don't have a roommate." I was like, "Oh, okay." "Oh, do you have a lot of visitors over? There's people staying here?" She's like, "Actually, no. You're like the first person I've had over like in a couple of months. I've just been really busy working." And I was like, "Oh man, oh, it's horrible." She was like, why? I'm like, "Well, I hate to tell you this, but I think somebody broke into your house and they set off a shit bomb in your toilet." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, I just wanted to know it wasn't me, because I just went to your bathroom and I don't want you thinking it was me." She stood quiet for a second, and she was like, "It's just so embarrassing." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "It was me." I was like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, I had diarrhea earlier, and I just didn't have time to clean it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like earlier in the week, or she goes, "No, like earlier today." She's like, "I ate something and didn't agree with me, and before I went to the bar, I came home and I went to the bathroom, then I went to the bar, and I was like, oh, okay." But then another thing popped in my mind. I was like, well, wait a minute. I mean, like, she had diarrhea and she went to the bar, and I was thinking to myself, like, when I met her, she was all dolled up, very pretty and everything. And she told me how she got off at 4, and it took her at least 20 minutes to get home. And when I met her, it was like 4:40, and because I remember her walking in because my friend was talking about something about the internet, so I was looking at the phone, and I saw the time. So then a thing popped in my head. I was like, she didn't have time to take a shower, so she must have like an incredible case of swamp ass. And I was thinking to myself, can I sleep with a girl with swamp ass? I go, well, maybe she took a shower. I don't know. So I started asking her, and I'm like, hey, so you said you work, huh? And she's like, yeah, I'm going to do this and that. And I'm like, what time you get off work? She's like, oh, I usually get off around 4. It takes me about 20 minutes to get home. I'm like, oh, okay, 20 minutes to get home. And it takes you about 10, 15 minutes to walk to the bar. And she's like, yeah, like, why do you ask me this? I'm like, hey, I'm asking the questions, gotta get to the bottom of the story. So I started asking her, and I was doing the math, and she didn't have time to take a shower. So she did have swamp ass, and I remember us dancing and doing karaoke. So she, like if you ever had diarrhea is a lot like an earthquake. There's tremors afterwards. So we started kissing, getting really into it and everything, and I just couldn't escape the thought of her having swamp ass, and I was just like, God, I don't know if I can do this. And then a voice in my head says, yes, you can. I was like, I don't know if I can. And he's like, yeah, you can. You've been training for this your whole life. And I was like, how have I been training for this? And then the voice says, like, well, you remember when you used to go swimming when you were a kid, and your dad would throw quarters in the bottom of the pool and says, all right, whoever gets the quarter, you get to keep it. And you and your brothers would jump in, and you would hold your breath as long as you could. And then you would find that quarter, and at your last breath, you would jump out of the pool and put the quarter in the air and be like, I got the quarter, and everything. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, I can hold my breath for a really long time. So I was like, I have been training for this my whole life. I'm ready. I can do this. So, needless to say, things escalated to where our clothes came off, and we started, doing what we were doing, and I don't know if you remember, I said that I haven't had sex for like 2 months. I was in the worst dry spell in my life. So saying that, I didn't really have to hold my breath as long as I thought I was going to have to, but I got my quarter.